Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Dr. Joshua Fredenburg coming to you today for this Lunch and Learn Live. We're on multiple platforms. We're on LinkedIn, we're on Facebook, as well as the Circle of Change Leadership Experience page. And so just want to welcome you all here today as we're getting ready to get into some engaging conversations revolved around red leadership insights. Literally going to talk about how do we attract more culturally diverse college students for our companies and our organizations. And so just want to give you an opportunity, if you know anyone that needs to be here, or there's someone that you feel this would be really important for them to hear, definitely share it with them. Comment in the comment section where you can tag them, whatever the case may be. I want to encourage you definitely to get them involved, because I really do believe that this information is extremely important, not only for recruiters, but for those that have a desire to help more culturally diverse students position themselves for career leadership success. For those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Dr. Joshua Fredenburg. I am, number one, a national speaker that has been traveling all across the country and world for the past 15 years. In addition to that, I'm also the author of Red Leadership and a variety of other books that are geared really towards helping people to become their best selves, not only as leaders, but also within their career. And I'm also the president of the Circle of Change Leadership Experience. And again, we've been doing this program for the past 11 to 12 years, where we empower culturally diverse and first generation students for career leadership success. It's an amazing program. If you don't know about it, make sure you check it out. If you're an alumni or you're a panelist that's been a part of it, literally we have 300 to 400 panelists over the past 12 years, thousands of students. And so if you're watching this and you're an alumni, make sure you let it be known, because we are so proud of all the students that we've been able to connect with over the years. And again, that's definitely one of the things that I love to do. But today we're focusing on how do you recruit, how do you attract culturally diverse students on a college campus? A few reasons why I decided to do this is because, number one, not only did I just come out with my newest book called Red Leadership, which is focused on retaining, engaging, and developing culturally diverse leaders of the emerging generations, but also I've been a college speaker within the college market for the past 12 to 15 years. And so based on my experiences working with different colleges, different organizations, and different students, there's a lot of things that I've been able to identify and I've been able to see within students that I think is really, really valuable for companies and organizations that are trying to diversify their talent, that are trying to get more culturally diverse students the opportunity to not only get a job, but to establish an incredible career where they can use the gifts and potential that they possess. And it was based on that experience and my desire to get more culturally diverse professionals and leaders where they can thrive and succeed that inspired me to share this information with you today. And so we're not going to waste any time. I call this the LinkedIn Live Lunch and Learn. It's going to be a series, so I'm starting out today, but next week we're going to have my good friend. He literally was a VP of a major organization, and he did campus recruitment, and I'm going to have him, I'm going to interview him, and he's going to share some of his skills, some of the secrets as well. So we're in this month-long process where we're focusing on recruitment of culturally diverse students. And as I said today, I'm going to give you 4 tips and strategies that I have found to be really beneficial. So the first one is this. If you're going to be effective at attracting or recruiting culturally diverse students on a college campus, the first thing that I think is important is diverse representation. What I mean by that is you have to have people that are multi-ethnic. You got to have people that when a student is getting ready to work for your company, or a student is getting ready to work for your organization, they actually see a variety of cultures that are represented. And the reason why this is important is because, number one, I have found that when I, as a professional of color, there's certain ways in which I'm able to engage with culturally diverse students that others may not be able to, just based on my experience. Number two, what I've discovered is that this concept of being culturally intelligent. And again, we can talk about that in another program. But again, I think it's so important to have cultural competence, have cultural intelligence if you're going to be effective at recruiting, but also retaining and engaging those that are culturally diverse. And the third reason why it's important, which is really interesting to me, is I found in a variety of studies that members of Gen Z actually look to see how diverse the company is and how much they support diversity before they actually make the determination whether or not they're going to work for the company. There was a study that I learned about in a new book called Inclusive Hiring, and the author went on to say that 69% of those from Gen Z, those from 1995 to 2010, literally 69% said that the diversity of the organization or the diverse representation will determine whether or not they'll even apply for the job. So in essence, even before we get to the interview, even before we get to getting to know the person and to discover if this will be a great person to add to our team, if they don't see diverse representation in the company, if they don't see policies in place that support inclusion and diversity and equity and a sense of belonging, they're not going to even apply for the job. And so I know as a recruiter or maybe an HR manager, you may not always have control of that, but there is some control that you have as far as making sure that you're creating a place that is diverse, creating a place where it's inclusive, create a place where you have multi-ethnic representation. The second tip that I want to share with you today is I want to talk about niche markets. This is really important to understand. Within every college campus, there are what I call niche markets. There are specific places where you can literally recruit culturally diverse students. Now, most conversation when you begin to deal with recruitment, you're going to hear people talk about the Career Center. That's absolutely incredible. The Career Center is a great resource. Then you're going to hear people say, well, I think you need to recruit at HBCUs, and that's amazing. And there's incredible students there as well. Then you're going to hear this concept of HSIs and Hispanic Serving Institutions. And again, I think those are all incredible places to recruit culturally diverse talent. But when I deal with niche market, I want to go a step deeper, and I want to talk about the niches within the college campus that I speak to, but I don't see necessarily a lot of recruiters there. The first one that I think I want to bring up is TRIO programs. If you're aware of higher education, you'll understand that literally approximately 33% of college campuses are serving first-generation students. And these are our future employers. These are our future leaders. These are people coming into the workplace. And one of the things that I think is so important for people to understand is TRIO programs. TRIO is a government-funded organization that is specifically geared towards funding TRIO students, funding first-generation students, funding cultural diverse students. And so in addition to all the other avenues, this will be another place to consider if you're recruiting culturally diverse students. Again, not only do they have regional conferences and a national conference, but also on their campuses, they may have 70 to about 200 culturally diverse students that you have the opportunity to tap into as far as their brilliance is concerned. The second thing that I think is important is NPHC organizations. For those that are Greek, you understand these the Black Greek organizations. You also have multicultural organizations. And these organizations are all across the country. They have incredible talent. They have incredible potential. But yet I rarely saw a company really put their foot into these types of programs. But I do believe if they did more work here, did more recruitment here, did more partnering within these specific campuses, I think that can help the recruitment as well as it relates to cultural diverse students. The other one, obviously, is SGA. That's another place, student government. Student government has tons of culturally diverse student leaders as well that are actively involved, that have incredible skill sets. And then lastly, our Circle of Change leadership conferences. There are pockets of leadership conferences that are geared towards culturally diverse students, and they have amazing opportunities where you can recruit incredible talent. Just to give you a couple of examples, I have one girl that I heard from literally last week. And she said she came to the Circle of Change Leadership Conference in 2019. And now she's actually working at Nickelodeon right now. Literally, she went through the process and she landed the job. And that's a culturally diverse student that came to the conference and ended up getting a great job for a great company. Another one is a first generation student that came several years ago. He is now working for Amazon. He's now working for a really huge company. He's flourishing. He's doing absolutely incredible. But this student was at the Circle of Change Leadership Conference. He was connecting. He's doing things. He's doing amazing things. But again, if recruitment, if organizations, if representation is not there, we're missing talent. We're missing opportunities. The third thing that I think is really important is developing how can I say, let me say this real clear. The third thing that's important is creating a opportunity for career growth. And I'm going to tell you what I mean. When you're recruiting, I'm not just trying to give you a job. I'm not just trying to check a box because I got another diverse candidate. No, I sincerely care about you. And I'm presenting a program or a map or a trajectory on how, when you become a part of our organization, not only do we have an expectation of you, but as an organization, we're going to support you, we're going to empower you, and we're going to help you develop into a professional and into a leader while you're there. See, so many times it's about just getting the job, and we got to be grateful for the job. We got to be grateful for the opportunity. But again, when you're dealing with this generation, it's not only about getting the job, it's about opportunity. It's about growth. It's about development. It's about support. And when you come there and you're recruiting, coaching diverse students, and you let them know that not only will you have a job, but we're going to create opportunities for growth. We're going to put you in some of our leadership development programs. We're going to create mentorship programs. We're going to allow you to be a part of our ERG groups. That makes a huge impact. And the reason why I know it makes a huge impact is because I did a study of 700 culturally diverse members of the millennial and Gen Z generation, and then I actually did 228 first gen students as well. So total about 900 to 1,000 people of college students, specifically culturally diverse. And one of the things that I discovered when I did the research is I discovered that the number one thing that they were looking for before they accept a position wasn't money, wasn't even a workplace culture. It was opportunity for growth. In essence, the number one thing is opportunity for growth. And so I'm going to be more effective at recruiting. If I'm going to be more effective at attracting culturally diverse members or culturally diverse students, they want to get paid. They want the job, obviously. They want the workplace culture, but they also want opportunities for growth. One of my good friends that'll be with us next week, I'm going to have them talk more about this on how within their company, not only did they hire you, but they begin to share with students some of the career opportunities that were available once they actually got the job. Can't wait to share that with you because it's really fascinating. Literally 6 months, they had 6 to year-long plans for every hire that came into the organization. And they're always talked about ways they can grow, where they can ascend within the organization, which is why I think he was so effective at recruiting and retaining culturally diverse individuals within his company. We're going to talk more about that as well next week. And the last thing, and I think it's so important, is social media platforms. Now, this is vitally important. I did my study, and I'm going to share this in an article coming up very soon. But within my study, I said, how do you look for a job? And the number one thing was LinkedIn. The number two thing was job boards. But again, although I saw that, one of the things I recognized in dealing with students and serving students as a speaker is they're on social media platforms. They're on TikTok. They're on Instagram. Some are on Facebook. They're on YouTube. And so I'm going to recruit these culturally diverse students. Not only are we going to do all the traditional stuff and all the other outreach, but I got to figure out what social media platforms, what social media influencers can I connect with that'll connect me with other culturally diverse students. Now, again, I love LinkedIn. I believe LinkedIn is valuable. I love this platform, but I'm gonna share a secret with you. What I discovered is not many college students are on LinkedIn. Just personally for me, when I go to LinkedIn and I say, how many have a LinkedIn account? I'll get 50, 40, 60%. I'm gonna tell them to get one because I know it's important. I know it's valuable, but to be honest with you, they're not all here. And so you got to figure out, now am I going to be on LinkedIn, and now am I going to recruit on LinkedIn, but I got to find the other platforms, the other influencers that are going to give me access to these diverse college students. To be really honest, sometimes it can be influencers on campuses. Sometimes it can even be athletes. There are athletes and influencers that have thousands of followers that when they say something, students follow. And if you can connect, and if you can connect with them and get the word out, that'd be so impactful. Even advisors and different programs, because you got to understand, they're looking for sponsorship. They're looking for opportunities to partner and create opportunities for their students. So the fourth thing is social media platforms. Now, again, there's so many more things that we can talk about. There's so many more tips. There's so many more insights that can be talked about. But for those that are going to watch this one, I'm going to watch the recording. The 4 tips I wanted to give you today, if you're going to attract, if you're going to recruit more culturally diverse students, is number 1, you need diverse representation. Number 2, you got to understand the niche markets within higher education. Number 3, you got to develop career growth opportunities. And number 4, utilize the social media platforms where the students you're trying to recruit are actually present and actively engaged. As we get ready to close out this Lunch and Learn LinkedIn Live on multiple platforms today, I want to first and foremost thank you so much for taking the time to be here today. Again, make sure you spread this word. I think it's so important that recruiters and HR managers understand these key concepts when it comes to recruiting more culturally diverse students. In addition to that, make sure you're locked in next week because on next Wednesday, we're going to continue the second part, and I'm going to have a good friend of mine. Again, he was a recruiter within the college market. He also got promoted to VP of HR, and now he's literally starting his own business, but he has so much wisdom and so much knowledge to share. So we're going to interview him next week, and then we'll have our closing the following week, and then we're going to move to September for a new topic, a new presentation, and new information. So make sure you spread the word. Make sure you are locked in every Wednesday afternoon for this Lunch and Learn. Unless I'm on the road, unless I'm somewhere else, I plan to be here every afternoon providing value, providing gems and wisdom for those that want to grow and become more effective within their area of expertise. Again, thank you all so much. If you have any additional questions, concerns, comments, or whatever, please feel free to reach out to me anytime. It's been a pleasure. It's been an honor. Have an incredible rest of the day, and see y'all next week. Peace.